This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. With Cybersecurity Awareness Month winding down, LifeLock wants to remind you to update your software. These updates will patch up security issues that identity thieves can exploit to gain access to your personal info. For comprehensive identity theft protection, there's LifeLock. LifeLock alerts you to more uses of your personal info and fixes issues that arise. Protect your identity today with a 30-day free trial at lifelock.com/podcast.
This episode is brought to you by Opill, the first over-the-counter daily birth control pill available in the U.S. Opill is FDA approved, full prescription strength, and estrogen-free. Plus, there's no prescription needed. Finally, the days of needing a prescription for birth control are over. Opill is available online and at most major retailers. Take control of your health and reproductive journey with Opill. Birth control in your control. Use code BIRTHCONTROL for 25% off your first month of Opill at Opill.com.
We're kicking it.
Fratelloni's Hardware and Garden Stores brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 967, November 17th, 2022. Here's our last 70 of the year.
No!
73 degrees on this day in 1953.
And we're waiting until when?
I'm going to get there.
Gotcha.
And it was 5 below on this day in 1880. Now, this is the last 70 recorded of the calendar year, but as soon as February 5, there could be another 70. In the year 2000, we hit 72 degrees on Feb 5. So if you do the math, that's 80 days between 70s. You know what that is? That's nothing. That's nothing.
So today is the garage door closer.
Yeah, this is it. 73 on this day in 1953. But as soon as February 5 rolls around, there is the potential for a 70 because we had a 72 in the year 2000. Next up, I'll be giving you the last 60 and the distance between 60s because I know you really enjoy that.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, Dylan Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Souchere.
Steve Loading writes, have you, I heard you discussing how fun it would be to watch Buffalo versus Cleveland in a snowstorm. It might not happen with travel being too dangerous. They're predicting 3 to 6 feet of lake effect snow in Buffalo.
Starting this afternoon.
Right. Wow. The weather over New York throughout the weekend could render travel almost impossible, according to AccuWeather. The rare early season phenomenon could land in the weather history books. These early season events can be potent, and lake water temperatures are still quite mild compared to the middle or later part of the winter, according to AccuWeather. Almost exactly 8 years ago, a similar event took place with more than 65 inches of snow falling just south of Buffalo, dubbed Snowvember. Okay, what we're learning, according to Reavers, is that game won't even be played in Buffalo if, in fact, it gets played.
My sources are telling me the hot rumor is that they're going to move it to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse?
Yes.
That's a possibility because they do have to play that game because they play on Thanksgiving against the Detroits.
Okay, but football is always you play in the elements.
But this is down to people
Matt,
can't even get around.
You can't even live in 4 feet of snow. You're trying to stay home and protect your roof so you don't have to go to a Motel 6 when the double flange joists start rotating.
You beat me to it. You beat me to it. Yeah. You got sheetrock in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't need to hear that.
Oh.
I have a show to do. Okay. And there's lots of information to get done.
Jeez.
Yeah. Hey, I got great news from Greg Holcomb.
What?
The original production art used in the maps of Garage Logic in Gumption County are going to be auctioned on eBay.
Seriously?
Charities will benefit, yes.
Wait.
The auction begins Monday, November 21st, this coming Monday.
So this is his original artwork?
That's the original on the correct
Sheba.
archival quality stock materials that use. That's our talk.
Okay.
And they're iconic, but that's foghornable.
Well, that's going to get this.
Yeah, and it's really, really a piece of Garage Logic history. Holcomb, of course, has always been the official artist of Garage Logic. Did all the art for the book, and he did the maps I was thinking back to how we met. He knocked on the door one day during Saturday Sports Talk
Mountain
in
Maplewood.
Maplewood. And he just I never saw him before. He walks in.
What do you want, pal?
Yeah, he unrolls a map.
You got a gun?
who was
What's
the
in that? Is there a
engineer?
firearm in that thing?
The Blur.
No, it wasn't Blur. The tall guy with the...
Norm.
Norm Patznick.
It was Norm. And he laid out the map on Norm's workbench, and I was flabbergasted. And I said, well, how do you do this? And he said, I just see the town when I'm listening to the show.
That's awesome.
So those maps, really, really iconic.
Well, I would like to bid on that, but that's going to be way out of my league. That's going to go for a lot of
I
money.
hope so.
Yeah,
I hope
that
so.
should.
I hope so.
Or we don't promote it, and then one of us wins.
Right.
No, it has to be.
Speaking of
Well,
charities.
wait a minute. How do we get our hands on that? What? Give us more information.
Well, you go to eBay. It's going to start Monday on eBay.
Okay.
At 12 a.m.
Garage Logic map. I'm
Yeah.
going to
What's-
Google
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
What's the duration? How long is he
Till
going to keep it
December
up?
1st.
Till December 1st. Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
So
You know,
good
I'm just
luck.
going to put a bid just to say I put a bid on it and then get outbid 3 times because I don't even have a copy of the original map.
You don't?
I do not.
Really?
Well, there's the
Is
one
the
that's
ori-
in here.
Is the original one Garage Logic or Gumption County?
Hold
'Cause
on.
I have
Garage
them.
Logic.
I have them both.
It's Garage Logic, and then we went to Gumption County. Then we went to 5 o'clock meeting, Gumption County Fair.
Yep.
He captured everything.
See it?
That's the original map, but that's
Yep.
not the original
No, it's a
original
copy of
map.
the
That's a
original.
copy of the original
This one will
map.
end up in my basement when you guys finally quit.
Yeah. From the We Are Poorly Led file.
Wait.
lot of those.
It's Give to the Max Day, Reavers.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Reavers, it's Give to the Max Day.
It sure is, Kenny. And what we're doing here in Garage Logic is we're honoring our buddy Mike Schoonover and Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation that helps identify heart defects in kids ages 14 to 24 following the death of their son Patrick at age 14. The foundation provides free heart screens for kids 14 to 24, and these screens include family health history, blood pressure, height, weight, EKG, echocardiogram, and physician consultation to review results. The foundation also teaches hands-only CPR and AED awareness and donates AEDs to host schools. GLers, you can help out this amazing charity with your tax-deductible donation. To do so, just go to garagelogic.com, click on the banner ad, or just search the keyword Patrick at garagelogic.com to donate.
Very nice.
From the We Are Poorly Led file from our trusted mole. At a time when Minnesota is dealing with the Feeding Our Future fraud, crime issues, failing test scores for kids, what are 2 members of Minnesota's congressional delegation doing? They're signing on to a letter about plans to have the U.S. send funds to developing countries to help them recover from climate catastrophes.
Oh, my God.
Betty McCollum and Ilhan Omar joined AOC, Cory Bush, and others who sent this letter to John Kerry. One specific step we urge you to take immediately is to throw the U.S. support behind the establishment of a loss and damage finance facility under the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change for the purpose of channeling new grant-based public finance from developed to developing countries to help them recover from climate catastrophes.
My Lord.
We are encouraged that the Biden administration has accepted formal discussions of loss and damage at the UN Climate Change Conference COP27. That's the one they had the luxurious resort in Egypt they all
Okay.
flew to.
Yep.
We hope you will build on that commitment and continue engaging in good faith discussion to ensure the world's most vulnerable communities receive life-saving resources in times of crisis. We are poorly led. That's infantile thinking. Can I continue with we're poorly led?
Yes, but let me...
For some reason, somebody's getting a kickback there, right?
Oh, you're damn right.
Yeah.
The guy with the purple Bentley.
That's not just out of the goodness of their hearts. There's some kickbacks in there somewhere.
Speaking of the summit, did you see, is it Xi Jinping? Is that how you
Yes,
pronounce
I
his
will
name?
accept that.
Xi Jinping.
The verbal undressing he did with Trudeau.
Yes.
Oh my, that's a guy I don't think you want to cross.
No.
That was pretty good.
Trudeau is poorly serving Canada.
You think? He's poorly. Well, no, we're not going to go there.
Was it yesterday we had the Independent School District 625 St. Paul resolution
Yes.
I think it was yesterday.
disinvesting from fossil fuels? I've been alerted to a new one.
Oh, good.
I've been alerted to a new one.
What do you got?
Adopting a St. Paul Public School resolution preventing investment in prisons. Private prisons. Whereas the United States has the highest number of people in prison out of every country in the world, with approximately 25% of the world's prison population, but only 5% of the overpopulation. And whereas of the total U.S. prison population, 1 in 12 people was incarcerated in private prisons in 2016, whereas 26,249 people were also confined in privately run immigration detention facilities in fiscal year 2017, whereas the prison industrial complex has become a $70 billion industry, and whereas people of color face a disproportionately high risk of incarceration in the U.S., and whereas the majority of students attending Independent School District number 625 are students of color, and this isn't a long resolution, and whereas the Board of Education has the authority to invest public funds pursuant to Minnesota law, including Minnesota Statutes Chapter 118A, be it resolved that the Board of Education, Independent School District number 625, shall not invest in companies or funds that invest in companies that directly operate private prison facilities. Okay? These are children who have school board positions. Now, speaking of the resolution to disinvest, I think it's called divest.
Okay.
From fossil fuels, I got a note from Timbuktu. The problem with woke institutions like the St. Paul School Board is that they are often financially illiterate. They live in an ideological bubble and have no idea how the world really works.
Right.
When they dump their energy stocks, huge hedge funds jump in to buy these shares. The Financial Times of London recently summed it up in an article called "Hedge Funds Cash In as Green Investors Dump Energy Stocks." And he linked me to the Financial Times. Hedge funds have been quietly snapping up the shares of unloved oil and gas companies discarded by environmentally minded institutional investors and are now reaping big gains as energy prices surge. It's such a great and easy idea, said Crispin Odey, founder of the London-based Odey Asset Management. The big institutional investors are all keen to get rid of oil assets. They're leaving fantastic returns on the table, added Odey, whose European fund is up more than 100% this year.
Ooh.
Another hedge fund manager put it more succinctly. People don't understand how much money you can make in things that people hate. Odey's fund has also been providing financing for new companies that are being set up specifically to buy up unwanted assets being sold off by the oil majors. When environmental zealots pressured the giants like Exxon and Chevron to sell off some of their land rather than drill for oil, it accomplishes nothing. Exxon and Chevron simply sell these parcels to smaller companies at attractive prices, and the smaller companies then develop the properties. So far this year, the stock market overall is down 17%, but energy company stocks are soaring. Exxon is up 85%. Occidental Petroleum is up 148%.
Whoa.
While the dumb money has been selling oil and gas stocks, the smart money, like Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway, has been buying it hand over fist. He is now the largest shareholder in Occidental Petroleum. Oil and gas companies will still be developed worldwide for one simple reason: the world needs them. And the giant hedge funds will be laughing all the way to the bank.
Oh, silly.
These morons gave away money
giving it
in
away.
St. Paul.
Right.
That's their.
Boy, if I was a taxpayer in St. Paul, I'd be outraged.
No, don't worry. They'll just raise your property taxes 15%. No problem.
And then back to the divesting of fossil fuels. Joe, I prefer you don't use my name, but I've read many of his emails, so I know who this is. When you brought up the St. Paul School Board divestment in fossil fuels, I had to laugh. That's all I can do with all of the hypocrisy. You think the board has given one thought to the fuel they are using to allow students to attend schools far away from their neighborhoods? I drive a school bus for St. Paul. I pick kids up on one side of town and drive them clear across town. Because of the district policy, kids do not have to attend schools in their neighborhood. When I attended school in St. Paul, I walked to school. Now the district is responsible for millions spent on evil fossil fuel, transporting kids from St. Anthony to the west side, for example. Between the buses, vans, and parents' cars, the fuel used every day, the school board should own a refinery. As an aside, I have a hunch some of the many transportation companies contracted by the district have found ways or will find way to overcharge. An audit might find fraud that could make the food fraud look like peanuts. I only base this on lack of oversight and human nature. Good luck, the GL bus driver. Here's Tim nailed it. These people do quite literally live in an ideological bubble, with their peer group being the only people they befriend or know.
Right.
They're not part of the world we're living in, and yet we've allowed them through our apathy, passivity, to become the people running, in this case, for example, the St. Paul Public Schools.
You're saying their garage door is not up and they're sitting in their alley looking for
They're not
neighbors.
in the alley.
But you're right, Joe. We've let this go on too long, and now look what's happened. I mean, we haven't been involved enough.
No, and these kids are getting a lousy education, not necessarily as a result of GL teachers, of course, but institutionally the academy is so thoroughly failed that you have school boards devoting their time to divesting from fossil fuels and promising not to invest money in any company that would contribute to building a private prison. And God knows what other resolutions they've had and they come up with. But it's a crying shame that we're this poorly led. I have to tell you again about something. I'm going to stay on this poorly led theme. Where you won't be poorly led is EcoFund Motorsports.
No.
2 locations, Forest Lake and Burnsville. And right now, all electric bikes, $200 off. All scooters that turn urban errands into adventures, $100 to $500 off, plus heated storage if needed. That's the lowest prices since COVID. Over 100 youth ATVs and dirt bikes in stock. They've got the golf carts, $1,000 off. They're on sale for $62.99. They're very cool. LED light bars, fold-out windshield, dump boxes. Oh,
A Garage Logic golf cart.
oh yeah. Don't think I don't have that in mind. Full-size ATVs, 2,000-pound winch, and a steel plow blade, $58.99. Forget the shovel. 0% financing for 1 year. This is a great time to head to EcoFund just between now and Christmas and just load up on all the products in stock. Great people, great service, apparel, and helmets. Forest Lake, Highway 97, immediately west of 35E, and in Burnsville on the Service Road of Life near County Road 42 above, I think it's above 35W, or below it, but it's the service road.
Yeah, it's right there.
50-50
Forest Lake
shot.
in Burnsville. EcoFundMotorsports.com.
You know, Spiralite Candles is a local company, a Garage Logic company. Started in the garage, and the family that started this realized that they want to bring to the people candles that aren't boring. Don't burn boring candles. What is a boring candle? One that you just light the wick and doesn't really do much. This candle burns in a circular motion. And if you go to their website, spiralitecandles.com, you can see it in motion. It's really cool how it burns around, the wax falls in, and then, you know what, once it's done, you have a little conversation piece, and you want to get another one. They've got many different colors, many different scents, and many options for you at spiralitecandles.com. Now, when you're going over there for a hostess gift, this is an easy way out. Check out, there's a scent guide, there's all sorts of different accessories. Check them out online, spiralitecandles.com, and ask for the Cylinder Index candle. It's exclusive to Spiralite Candles. There's no other candle that smells like your garage. Check them out online. Enlighten your life and stop burning boring candles with spiralitecandles.com.
Hey, GLers, it's Reavers here, and you've heard me talk about my relationship with Josh Arnold for quite some time now. And the reason I advocate that you give Josh a call is simple. Well, actually, it's two reasons: trust and results. Josh has seen it all when it comes to economic and market conditions. As he says, past results do not guarantee future returns. While that is true, Josh can make sure that your retirement objectives match your investments. And you can trust Josh to make sure that you are not paying more in fees than you are selling in returns. Yes, that is more common than you would think. So do yourself a favor by booking a 48-minute free consultation that has absolutely no obligation. Call Josh today at 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. You will be glad you did.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.
You know what? I'm not even giving you a countdown. I'm rolling.
Had to throw one towards the suit.
Are you ready, Dylan?
Here's a man who spends
bit
hours
hard
in
like a
hardware
bass.
stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
1, 2, 3, 4. Boy, did I blow that. Sure did.
This is our final day with Dylan. He's going to return to L.A.
It's easy.
I couldn't even do that.
Well, you got the end right. Too bad you screwed up the beginning.
Yeah, I screwed up the beginning. I know. Sorry. Plus, we rehearsed it before we started.
Oh, my.
Whereas there's another great sale in progress right now from Rich at Maple Grove Lock and Whereas Safe. It's the Whereas Veterans Day sale running through November, whereas 22nd. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this.
Right.
In honor of our great veterans, Maple Grove Lock and Safe offering some special pricing on select U.S. whereas of A safes. USA 50 Iwo Jima. That one's a limited edition gloss white safe. It's got the big logo on it. That's on sale. The regular USA 50, the USA 30, and like always, financing, professional delivery, installation. It's all available. Liberty Safes made in the U.S. have a transferable lifetime warranty and are obviously the best built safes on the planet. Look them up on the web, maplegrovelockandsafe.com, or stop into the Maple Grove showroom, 6901 East Fish Lake Road. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and 24 hours a day at maplegrovelockandsafe.com, whereas...
I want to stay with We Are Poorly Led. We managed, because it's Minnesota, to reelect the exact same people who've been in charge through the decline in public safety and the food fraud scandal and what have you. We've just put them all back in office, and we don't know if there'll ever be any repercussions. Channel 5 Eyewitness News has been doing a piece on the Department of Human Services violating what's called, believe it or not, the 48-hour rule. It regards mental health treatment. I think it's Eric Rasmussen who's been doing it. It's a very good work, and it took up a considerable part of the news last night. I haven't seen any of this in the newspaper, and so I'm grateful that it's being done. Essentially, what we're learning here is that people who should be committed are supposed to be within 48 hours of an arrest, for example. And the Department of Human Services is routinely ignoring that. They're not doing that. Okay. And some of these people spend months in a jail cell when back months ago, within 48 hours, they were supposed to be given a bed in the hospital and get some help. They give the example of Shakopee police arrested Anthony Swope, 27, in June at a St. Francis hospital after what his lawyers described as a psychotic episode in which Swope was accused of kicking a security guard while being restrained. After doctors found him incompetent to stand trial, a judge committed him to treatment in a locked state mental hospital, an extreme step that Swope's lawyer, Kevin Wetherill, said his client welcomed. He didn't fight that, Wetherill said. He actually told the court, I agree to this. I want to go to the hospital. I want to get help. But Swope waited in jail 2 months before he finally received the help he needed, despite the judge's order and a state law meant to ensure expedited treatment. That law requires the Department of Human Services to transfer inmates to a state-run facility within 48 hours of a civil commitment. Swope was in the Scott County Jail for 57 days.
Holy crap.
DHS finally moved Swope to a state hospital earlier this month, but there are dozens of more inmates waiting weeks and even months to be transferred. It's frustrating because we want to serve people. We want to get people into treatment, said Kylie Ann Stevens, Executive Medical Director for the Behavioral Health at DHS. We don't want our people waiting in jails to get treatment. Well, she's the one they sent out as the sacrificial lamb to talk to Rasmussen. She's a medical doctor, and God bless her, but she had nothing to say, just boilerplate BS.
Right.
5 Investigates review of court records show DHS has repeatedly violated Minnesota's 48-hour law. We know all about that here in GL. They've done this in the last 2 years. The violations have led to sharp rebukes from sitting judges who ordered DHS officials to appear in court to explain why the state's largest agency can't follow the law. I've never seen a statute where there's just overt failure to comply, and it's not even close, Scott County Judge Christopher Wilton said. DHS declined a request to speak with Commissioner Jody Harpstead.
Isn't that what she's supposed to do?
Don't you owe us, Jody?
Right. Right.
In a 15-minute interview with 5 Investigates, the doctor, Dr. Stevens, defended the agency's efforts and blamed the violations on a shortage of mental health beds. It's not just a problem with our facility, Stevens said. We're doing what we can to meet the need, and we are complying with the intent of the law, which is to get people into treatment. There's no intent of the law, Stevens. It's a law. It's a mandate.
Right.
You must put these people in a bed within 48 hours and get them help.
But what does it mean when Stevens says, we're doing what we can to meet the need?
Nothing.
And
it doesn't mean anything.
It's a lie.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you're not. You don't have enough beds. Get some beds.
DHS attributes the shortage of mental health beds in facilities to 4 factors: increasing court referrals through civil commitment, delays in moving stabilized patients out of state hospitals, staffing shortages, and lingering impacts of COVID-19 limiting capacity. COVID-19 has really been a catch-all excuse for a lot of things.
Yeah, it sure has.
It's a
A lot
bag.
of things.
It was the great experiment, wasn't it?
And this goes on to say, violations of the state's 48-hour law have caught the attention of at least 2 judges in Scott County. I think about what would happen if we took every other statute and we just had people look at it and say, well, we're doing our best, but we're not going to comply. We can't comply, and we don't want to comply. When first raised, Wilton, that's a judge, first raised concerns nearly 3 months ago. An inmate had been sitting in the county jail for nearly a month after doctors diagnosed him with developmental disabilities and substantial psychiatric disorders. Brandon Charles Haig McLaughlin was found incompetent to stand trial on drug charges and committed to the custody of DHS. But he ended up waiting 60 days for the agency to transfer him to a state hospital.
I didn't know 48 hours.
Okay. And they won't bring out I won't read you the whole thing. I recommend that you read it. It's good work by this Rasmussen. I won't read you the whole thing, but it goes on and I'm developing a theory.
You are?
Well, it's not even a theory. I think it's something we've observed.
What's that?
Let me go back to who is the Department of DHS would be presumably appointed by Walz.
Right.
Or is that a safe assumption?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's her name? Help me.
Her name is, she declined, Commissioner Jody Harpstead.
Jody Harpstead. So, where is their responsibility to the taxpayer? If we're led by only one party, what are they getting away with? And here is a real strong example of where in the hell has the Attorney General been on this? You've got your largest state agency is violating the law. Where is Keith Ellison?
But what will he say? Well, this isn't our fault. The same thing. He'll do the exact same thing that he did with the food fraud.
The problem is nothing's their fault.
No.
The buck is not stopping.
You pass the buck.
You've got Heather Mueller is the director of the Department of Education, which played an entirely important role in the distribution of $250 million in food fraud. Has she spoken to the public?
No.
Never seen
Will
her once.
she be fired?
No.
Is it safe to assume she would also be a Walz appointee?
She is a Walz appointee. She is resigning. That is in the
She's
news.
one of the four?
She's one of the four, yes.
Okay.
Well, so
Yeah.
is she resigning rather than face the music?
Yes.
We don't know if these people are. Did you read the story? They're being
I
let
have it
go,
here.
forced
Yeah.
out,
Yeah.
or are they resigning? It says they're resigning. I'll have it in the news.
Yeah.
But she is one of the four.
Okay, but
Here, let me finish. Where this falls under the "we're poorly led" headline is that we're not only poorly led, we're not led at all.
There you go.
You have people, given their political affiliations, running these overwhelmingly large state agencies who not only are failing to do what they're supposed to do in the case of DHS, ordered by the law to do, they're not responding. They're not taking responsibility. They don't talk to the press. The press has become weakened, which is why we should be grateful every time we see an outfit, in this case Channel 5, take a shot at trying to get to the bottom of something.
Right.
You've never heard of Heather Mueller addressing the food fraud. You don't hear the Attorney General. Keith, your largest state agency is willfully disobeying the law. Where are you? Where the hell are you?
Well, he's got that Fleet Farm thing. He's got to try to pursue that. He's got some mom and pop bars he's still trying to sue.
Yeah, the coffee shop. Didn't he go after the coffee shop up north?
But look at the danger we face when you are governed only by a monopoly.
John, what?
Later on in the story, if you continue to read it, it does say the Attorney General's office is doing something, but what they're doing is the wrong thing. It says they represent DHS. They're repeatedly pushing back on the court's authority to force the agency to take any additional action. So basically, they're saying, "Yeah, just let it go." Just,
it's amazing.
Thwarting it.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
When you're governed by only one party, and that party continues to drift dangerously left, not moderately left, this is what you get. You get no leadership.
And they keep getting reelected because we're a bunch of...
I told you I contacted the Department of Education.
Yes.
And they have a helpful fellow there. Is it Kevin?
Kevin, was he the former news guy?
No, the
Burns?
guy that... Kevin Burns.
Yeah,
Isn't he
Kevin Burns.
Isn't he their spokesperson?
Yeah.
And what I wanted, and I don't expect him to, and I don't hold him at fault for this. What I wanted, I said, I want the name of the person who had an application on their desk for reimbursement for, you fill in the blank. And that applicant is suggesting that he or she just fed 12,500 kids. I want the name of the person who could look at that and not raise a question. And I'm not going to get that name.
No.
And that person, I can only assume, will not be reprimanded, will not be fired, will not even be given a strict talking to. Because who's going to give the strict talking to? Heather Mueller, a like-minded, politically, ideologically pawn in all of this?
Nope.
We're in trouble here in Minnesota because we're being governed by a monopoly of people who are proving to be incompetent. And they might be incompetent by default because they can be. and no repercussions will ensue.
Joe,
Right, 'cause
Joe,
there's nobody holding their feet
we're
to the fire.
moving Minnesota forward.
No, we're not.
That's what
We're
Governor
going
Walz is
broke.
doing. We're moving it forward.
So here you have the state's largest agency willfully disobeying the law. No one will address it. They won't let the speaker or the director of it speak to the press. She's protected. And then you've got the attorney general of the state whose response has been, we don't like the law.
Man, Rookie and I can't even get away with that kind of incompetence.
No, you guys are competent compared to these people.
Damn it.
We are poorly led. And I'm glad to report to you that we do have help in our midst, the center of the American experiment.
Would this fall under a category that they would have voted on, or would this not even come close to what the amount of spending?
What do you mean voted on?
Well, their big thing is voting on what biggest waste of money we had in the state of Minnesota. Of course, this isn't really a waste of money. It's just complete incompetence.
No, it's a waste of lives who are desperate to get help.
Right.
And they're rotting in jails because these fools can't follow the law. The center of the American experiment can't solve it, but they can sure lay it out for you. They have a great magazine, a great website. They bring speakers in. They hold events. They're Minnesota's original pushbackers. Right now, you can go to americanexperiment.org and vote on the Golden Turkey Award, which would be funny if it wasn't so damn devastating, which is the waste of money by the Minnesota government. And one of the candidates is the $250 million food fraud. $250 million. That's a leading vote getter, but there are others. There are others to choose from. They are the center of the American experiment. And you know what they're doing? They're clinging to that experiment. They're watching that experiment get stretched and beat up and banged on, and they are hanging in there. And I recommend that you visit them at americanexperiment.org.
Right now is the perfect time to get in touch with Kahuna Window Cleaning and Seasonal Services. Not to wash your windows, not to clean out your gutters, not to power wash the roof. No, but for your holiday lights. Your holiday lights are very important, especially if you want to be that person on the block where it looks completely professional. Well, have them done professionally with Kahuna Window Cleaning and Seasonal Services. That's where the seasonal services come in. Yes, they do a great job with all the other items that they have, and they've been doing this since 2007. They're veteran-owned, they're Garage Logic approved, A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, so you know when you call them to get on their schedule for hanging holiday lights, they are going to do a fantastic job. They're going to do it safely. Remember, you don't have to get up on the ladder 6 to 8 feet up, maybe the second story. I hate that. I'm very unnerved when I get up that high. Why not have them come in with their safety ladders, and they will put up your lights, and you don't have to worry about a thing but being the best-looking house on the block, ready for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever the case may be. 612-888-5248, 612-888-5248, or go to kahunawindowcleaning.com. That's their website. Remember, for your holiday lights, and then in the spring you can worry about the other stuff, but right now it's holiday lights. Kahuna Window Cleaning and Seasonal Services on kahunawindowcleaning.com.
One. It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
John and Dylan Height. Dylan has to go back to L.A. tomorrow.
Not
Conquer
tomorrow.
the music industry. When tomorrow?
No, over the weekend. But,
Over the weekend.
But we won't be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's nothing to prevent
I
you from.
will.
There's nothing
You
to
will.
prevent you from walking downstairs and turning on the mic for bumps. Not a
might
damn
not,
thing.
Oh,
might not be home is the problem.
What was that, John? Was that something you two just whipped up on the?
That was
right on
something
the,
I think Dylan. That's a Dylan thing. Dylan wrote that.
Yeah, but Johnny, you did something that I could never do in a
You were
million
doing the
years.
leads. Yeah, you were doing the
Well,
leads there.
Yeah, I know. He showed me what the chords were when he walked out, and I kind of messed around with it.
No,
from
but
there.
Johnny, what you did was even more amazing because you were playing, and then you were conversing as well. And I don't know how people can do that. I would have to stop and play and not talk to anybody.
From the United States,
Here's Kenny Olson.
Using Seafoam on the regular
Yeah.
is great preventive maintenance, and that, my friend, is brilliant. But even if you're lazy and forgetful, you don't use Seafoam until the situation calls for it, well, I got to tell you, that's also brilliant. Seafoam helps lubricate. It keeps the moving parts moving properly, stabilizes fuel. And here's the key, and this might not make sense, but trust me, this is the key. It controls small amounts of moisture and preserves ignition vapors. That means your engine snaps to life the second you turn that starter stick. And Seafoam Deep Creep, oh, that's the other miracle. That can undo the harm and rust and misuse that life, dishes out. You coat it with Deep Creep, let it do all the work for you. Again, brilliant. Brilliant. Seafoam, very easy to find. You'll find it everywhere. Convenience stores, auto parts, Knack Hardware, big box, little box. It's a local company with a global reach and a true miracle in a world of bad gas. It's Seafoam.
Speaking of the schools and the failed academy, no wonder, given the school board is more worried about fossil fuels and prisons. I got a note for our friend Carrie, who emailed last week, and I never got to it, but I think it's now pertinent.
Okay.
Last Thursday, during your conversation about the Minneapolis school board candidates, you glossed over something called social emotional learning. This is something that cannot be brushed off. This is something that appears to be fairly innocuous, but it's not. You guys even fell victim to it. How can something called social emotional learning be bad? But I ask you, what is it? Define it. How do you teach it? Why are some schools teaching it and some schools aren't? GL parents, do you even know if your child's school is teaching social emotional learning? You should ask. What I encountered at my own child's school earlier this fall is that this program called SEL, Social Emotional Learning, was added to the curriculum without ever notifying the parents. So I did a lot of digging and I asked a lot of questions, and this is what I found. Social emotional learning is a program. It's a specific program with specific goals in mind, in my opinion. When a school adds SEL to its curriculum, with or without parents' knowledge, this gives the school the license to teach about gender, sexuality, racism, separatism, the demolition of the individual, etc. My son is 4 years old. Should he be learning about separatism? Should he be learning about gender? His teacher told me she planned to teach these topics through specific SEL-authorized books, and then an activity would follow. The first book has to do with pointing out differences in the children and then grouping them by those differences. I thought of Coffee Monska, the Roseville mom who called out the district for segregating the kids. I just want parents to do their own research. If you see that your school has added SEL to its curriculum, you've got to ask what your child is being taught. Perhaps it is innocuous, perhaps it's not. Needless to say, once I heard that my son was going to be taught SEL programming, I took him out of that school, and quickly. I'm happy to report that we found a great school that does not follow the SEL program. Good luck, Carrie.
Here.
Well, that's what a mother has to do.
Yes.
We discovered this through looking at candidates for the Minneapolis School Board, and I looked it up. And she's right. It's really an innocuous definition. Here, I looked it up again. We define social and emotional learning as an integral part of education and human development. SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals, feel and show empathy for others, establish, maintain supportive relationship, and make responsible and caring decisions. So, and it goes on and on and on. Isn't that something that we all just learn through life?
Well, you're hitting a good point. Here's why that's not innocuous. They're attempting to determine behavior. Read it again to me.
We define SEL as an integral part of education and human development. Integral, sorry. It's the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals.
Stop. What they're saying is, rather than this happen naturally, we're going to teach you.
Oh, you're right.
We're going to teach you what this should be.
Danger.
We'll teach you what your right emotional response should be. We'll teach you if the decision you made on a friendship is correct or not. We're going to teach this. BS. Carrie's right.
Well,
she did what she had to do. Get your kid out of that school.
Get him out.
Well, when you're a third grader and your buddy Billy just lost his dad, the whole classroom cries, do they not?
Usually.
I mean, that's a process of, that's a organic way of this happening.
Right.
You learn it naturally.
I'd be more afraid of the people that don't cry along with the rest of the class.
No, what this is more and more examples of intrusiveness.
Yeah.
This is dreadful. It's dreadful what's happening.
And it's funny, before the break, you were talking about St. Paul school districts and what they've done. And there wasn't one mention of curriculum in all of that.
No.
I just thought that was interesting, and I'm not casting an accusatory glance your way. It's just that's the way it is nowadays. They worry about everything else except 2 + 2.
2 + 2 does not necessarily have to equal 4, Kenny.
That's whatever you feel.
Well, that would be a racist attitude.
Whatever you feel.
Right.
What do you feel?
That's a white affectation. Somebody
that's
came up with the
privilege.
idea that 2 + 2 = 4. It isn't necessarily so. And you can arrive at the conclusion a variety of different ways. You guys recall the email we got from a gal who described herself as a former Mysterian?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's, she told me how to pronounce her name, and I'm probably going to get it wrong again, Joelle. And yesterday I was saying there's just so many things I don't understand. And she said, as to the show that aired yesterday, the mayor does not understand the following. It was presumed there existed a premise to understand. Men can enter female beauty pageants and win. I don't understand that. The cult left does not live in this world. Reality is an option. There are no premises in that world because a premise must be followed by a conclusion. And if there is a conclusion, somewhere there is an end. Thus, there would be a natural boundary or limit to the cult left's absurdity and madness, and that is not the desired outcome. The purpose here is not to understand, but to accept on bended knee, Joe. You ruled I had a say in how my husband keeps his garage. Thank you. And I promised I would not nag him about it. I have not nagged, and now there are some things occupying said garage space in addition to the 3 dead deer. So I am warming up my FFLF face in the mirror and exercising my wagging finger. They should be ready for ice fishing since I promised no nagging about the garage. Lastly, my husband says supposedly instead of supposedly and believes experimentatious is a word, one related to canning apricots, let's say.
Oh.
As a writer and lover of words, I rule that they are not words and am allowed to make fun. He disagrees. I could be convinced otherwise if Rookie could use them in a sentence while impersonating George W. Enjoying the show. See you at the town council meeting. The former Mysterian, Joelle.
I hope Joelle brings her husband.
Sure she will.
Are you talking about the Garage Logic Town Council holding its first
Yes.
ever event at
Yes.
Tattersall? Well, Joe, that's happening Wednesday, November 30th. That's the Wednesday after Thanksgiving from 4 to 6:30 p.m. It's at Tattersall Distillery in River Falls, Wisconsin. You can join the Garage Logic crew for complimentary appetizers beginning at 4 with a GL show at 5 o'clock. This event is only open to town council members, and members that wish to attend need to RSVP in the town council member platform at garagelogic.com. If you're not a member and you want to be at this exclusive and official meeting, it's not a problem. Just sign up for the town council right now at garagelogic.com and RSVP for the event, and we'll see you November 30th at Tattersall in River Falls.
Sir, the word is experimentatious.
Experimentatious. First, let me just mention that I like the name Joelle because it's easy to spell. You just write Joe and then L. Joelle.
There's easy in there.
It's kind of like Noel this time of the year, holiday spirit.
Experimentatious is when you're trying to attempt something
For the first time.
For the first time, and it doesn't quite work out. Kind of like when you make your first ice cream sundae.
That's
and
not
you're trying
it.
And you're trying to put it in the right spot, the cherry in the right spot. Maybe that's a bad euphemism.
No, that's perfect.
It's
a banana slice.
It's difficult. When's the last time you had a banana split?
It's been a while, sir.
Dairy Queen. I love Dairy Queen, but it just sounds like a royal person that is on the farm. Dairy Queen.
Mr. President.
What happened to experimentation?
Mr. President.
Experimentatious. That's what we're doing right now with me speaking. It's very experimentatious.
What about the word? There's another word.
Here, I have one. President, is it integral or integral?
It depends upon what part of the country you're in. And if it's integral, it's wrong. If it's integral, then you're just a smart ass.
What about the word?
You're bigger than you think you're smarter than everybody else, especially if you correct them mid-sentence.
I get it. Okay, I get it.
That's called condescending.
Okay,
That's
look at
when
me.
you talk
Look at
down
me,
to people.
sir. I hate to interrupt.
Yes.
Instead of the word supposedly, what if you used supposedly?
Supposedly something that you would use for hemorrhoids.
No,
wait, no.
That's
too much time on the horseback.
That's suppository.
Right.
Yeah. That's then I.
The other
remember
day
when I was a kid, and I had my first. Barbara was my mom.
Yeah.
I remember I had to take a pill, and she showed me the side of it and it said analgesic, and I said I can't do that, Mom. That's not for me. She said I don't think you know what that means. It was that's not what it meant.
No, like an ointment. Maybe.
Yes, it was just a pill to be taken by mouth, not by the other end.
Mr. President, the mayor chastised a member of the staff because the member of the staff was unfamiliar with the word agrarian. Aren't you a part of the agrarian community?
I would put that in the category of F that word. Should never be used. People like me, even though I went to Yale, I don't know all the big words. And again, if you use the big words, that's just you trying to show off.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, condescending. That's when you
talk
down to people.
He's being a caitiff, isn't he?
Yes, he's being a caitiff. Yeah. I don't even know what that means, but I think it fits him.
Yes, thank you,
fits him
sir.
well. Yeah.
Sir, thank you.
Scram.
Thank you.
It's kind of like cram, but you put an S on the front of it. Right. Scram.
Sanibel Jim sent me a great video. He writes, the Madonna Inn is on Highway 101 in San Luis Obispo, about halfway between San Francisco.
San Luis
Obispo. About halfway between. Yeah, thank you.
Playing the part of Joe Souchere is Kenny Olson.
Hi, I'm pissed off about my taxes.
The Madonna Inn. President, have you ever met Madonna?
Madonna? You mean the religious one or the slutty one?
Can I do this?
I've met neither. She has those pointers, right? The big torpedoes?
Yep.
Yeah, like the oil cans. Oil cans that are upside down.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Oil can what?
Oil can Boyd.
Oil can what?
He's a pitcher.
That apparently, and he sent me the video. It looks like a wonderful destination right there in the ocean. It's about 425 miles, I guess, from either city, and takes about 7 hours to drive without stopping. This was filmed at the Madonna Inn charging station. Jesus.
Yeah, that's something else I don't want to see. Madonna changing. Make sure there's no surprise.
She's now drinking water out of a dog bowl. She's a very desperate woman for attention.
Yes, she is.
Yes, she is. She really is.
This was filmed at the Madonna Inn charging station. I don't know when this video was shot. It's a line of electric cars waiting their turn to use the hotel's charging stations.
Okay.
And the line is endless. And it would just take forever to get your car charged.
Prime example of how it's not working out.
You can probably YouTube it. Charging station at Madonna Inn. And it's just incredible. I'm not the type of guy who would do well with that.
No, if you were like the sixth in line, maybe seventh.
How about if you're 28th in line?
Yeah, you don't even like being second in line. Let's go!
I would just push the car.
I'm a bad waiter.
I would just push the car.
I'm a bad waiter. That would drive me nuts.
Yeah.
Mayor, I don't expect you will read this. Why not? As you have many longtime articulate GLers who I also enjoy hearing. However, I thought you would or could add some perspective and GL wisdom to the following observation. I'm not sure what to think, but I do believe that you can help make a link. Sunday, November 13. This is fascinating. As I often do, after church or on my way home from the golf course, I like to stop and peruse the car lots along Highway 61 and White Bear Lake. I frequently stop at the Mitsubishi dealership as my DA drives an Outlander, so I like to compare prices and generally see what's on the lot. This is a relatively small lot compared to the many down the road. I find it interesting to see what has been traded in and often wonder why. 6 Teslas showcase the entire front row.
Really?
I glanced at the $85,000 price tag and had to park and get out to see for myself. I counted 7 Teslas on this lot, priced from $40K to $85K, apparently based on mileage. Several thoughts came to mind. Who gave up these EVs and why? Why here? Do all dealerships welcome these cars? Do all dealerships now have to upgrade their charging systems to accommodate potential Teslas coming in for trade? Will someone purchase an $85K used Tesla?
I don't think so. I wouldn't.
That is fascinating. I had no idea. Because you're giving up on the Tesla fairly soon in its lifespan.
Oh,
depending
for sure, yeah.
Depending how recent you purchased it. That's amazing. I didn't know that. Who in the hell wants to pay $85K for a used crap can electric car?
What?
Why?
I have one.
I know, and you're a moron.
Can't wait for you guys to
You're
go
just
ahead.
a moron.
Can't wait for you
When
guys
is
to go
that
ahead.
going to happen?
He's got his own podcast.
This is going to be a main event.
Yeah, I wonder what the hell happened there.
And finally, he notes, I have several other thoughts. If you have read this far, you get the drift. Joe, I've been listening to you and Pat as long as I can remember. As a Vietnam vet, I bought my first home with a GI loan in 1973 for $18K while attending the U of M at night. I'm currently suffering from PEB, post-election blues, just looking for some critical thought. Well, my critical thought would be that you've answered that. You've brought up something I find, who is this? Good luck from Santos. I find this entirely fascinating. Holiday greetings to the staff of Lovable Idiots. John Santos, St. Paul, longtime GLer. That's amazing. I'm going to now start looking in the lots and wonder why people are giving up on them.
I don't.
Well, I can tell you why, because they're pointless.
Yeah, but Tesla lovers swear by Teslas.
They're ugly. They look like dolphins. I got that white belly in the front that looks
I've never
terrible.
equated them to dolphins, but
Is the post-election blues on the same album, the State Fair album, as the Corn Dog Blues?
yes, it's on the B side.
It is.
It's on the
Gotcha.
B-side.
It is.
Very
You don't
poorly.
want your worldly work to go to waste in the hands of the courts when you pass on from this vale of tears. That's why I've asked you to get a hold of Eckberg Lammers law firm. For
You
more
have
than
been.
70 years. They've been creating estate plans and wills for people in Minnesota and western Wisconsin. They handle all kinds of family matters like the transfer of property, divorces, and what have you. But I'm telling you, if you don't think you need an estate plan, think again. We all have stuff. If you don't have a plan in place for your family, the courts are going to decide that for you. The estate planning team at Eckberg Lammers can help you. Make sure your estate will transition smoothly the way you want. Make an appointment with Eckberg Lammers and take care of this today. I don't care how old you are, and I don't care what you think the size of your estate is. You want to keep your personal life and your work out of the hands of the courts. Make an appointment with Eckberg Lammers at 651-439-2878 or visit eckberglammers.com/will.
Today is Positive Thursday, but even more importantly, it's Give to the Max Day, and Garage Logic has been a longtime supporter and endorses playforpatrick.org. Mike Schoonover is on the line. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Mike. How are you?
Hi, Kenny. It's good to be here today with you.
We're hoping to raise some money for Play for Patrick. The good that you've done over the last few years since you lost your son Patrick is really remarkable. Basically, to dumb it down, you do heart tests at area schools around the state for kids, and I think it was 14 to 24 Is 24, is that a kid?
Young adults.
Yeah.
Kids and young adults.
24, they're a kid to me anyway. And you've actually found a number of issues with a number of kids and really helped them along and actually change their lives. And so that's why we want GLers, if possible, to go to playtopatrick.org and give. And Reavers, I know you have more information on how to do that.
That's right. You just go to garagelogic.com, click on the banner to donate today, because today is Give the Max Day 2023. Or you can just search the keyword Patrick online at garagelogic.com. As Kenny mentioned, the Mike Schoonover's Patrick Schoonover Heart Foundation provides free heart screens kids age 14 to 24. And these screens include family health history, blood pressure, height, weight, EKG, echocardiogram, and physician consultation, which is very important, by the way, to review the results. And as I mentioned, just go to garagelogic.com and click on that banner ad to donate.
Jeez. You know, I didn't think Joe was right, but now I'm beginning to think Such is right. You talk really fast.
But damn, I'm good.
Well, did that cover everything? Did he get it all? Because it went by so fast, Mike. I'm not sure that he covered everything.
Well, there was one part that he left out, and that's the thing you guys were talking about the other day about kids learning how to use learning how to do hands-only CPR and how to use an AED.
Yes. Tell me about that. Now I'm an old schooler. I'm gonna give you the kiss of life if you go down. But tell me about the new way of doing it.
Here's the deal, Kenny. So it was taught for years about breaths and pushing on the chest and stuff, but we really don't do breaths anymore, just simply because I think people are apprehensive about putting their lips on somebody else, even when that person needs help. And
really,
so the hands-only CPR is really a remarkable way to save somebody. If you pay attention to somebody being on the floor and they're gonna have a very odd-looking color. They're gonna be gray or pale.
Right.
They're going to be foaming at the mouth.
Yep.
Their hands are going to be, almost like they're in a type of shock or something along those lines.
Yeah.
So you just go to the center of the chest and you start pressing hard and pressing fast, 100 beats per minute, so that whole thing of the song "Staying Alive" and that type of thing. If you use that beat, that's how you can pump oxygenated blood from the heart to the brain until somebody comes with an AED or emergency services shows up, and you can save a life that way. You do not need to go breath or mouth to mouth to somebody any longer. Just give them CPR and get an AED, and that oxygenated blood will go to their brain and keep them alive.
Well, I'm gonna have to take the course again, Mike. I've done it a few times in my life, but I've never done it without giving the breath. Let's talk just for a second about the AED. Describe what that is and why every place of business should have one.
Well, it's important for you to be aware of it, of your surroundings. So, like when you go into a school, if you're going to go watch a basketball game, just pay attention to where the AED is, because you might be saving somebody's life in the future, or at work. So, guys, you know where the AED is at KSTP?
Yeah, actually, I do.
You do.
Yeah.
So, the workplace and home are top spots where people are going to have sudden cardiac arrest. And so, especially at the workplace, for all, GLers out there, when you come into work, pay attention to where the AED is, because you might be saving, a coworker's life. But there's nothing to it. You open the case, you run it down to wherever that person is down and out, and you open it up and you listen. And there's videos all over the place. Minnesota is very good with CPR and AED training, and through the Heart Safe communities, there's all kinds of videos online and on YouTube and that type of thing that will show you how to do it. There's some great videos. There's a really good video from Heart Safe Minnesota online that talks about the video is called "Saving Teddy." And it's about a young man that collapsed in high school a few years ago, and he was saved by his coach, his teachers, and his classmates, who all got together and saved the kid's life. So go online and learn how to do it, because you would feel horrible if you saw somebody that was lying on the ground and you
can't do anything.
Were not,
Yeah.
You didn't do anything when all you had to do was just watch a video and practice and all those types of things. So anybody can save a life. And, the big news the big tagline that these folks use, a friend of mine who is a cop in Coon Rapids, Brian Platts, he says, don't wait for the help, be the help.
Yeah.
And emergency services are going to be 10, 15, 20 minutes away from helping out. And, we got 3 to 5 minutes before somebody's going to go brain dead.
Yep. And learning CPR is really, really easy, and learning to use the automated external defibrillator, we just call them defibs, right? That's also very easy, and it's actually something you can learn the second you need it. But it's something that every office, every workplace should have around. I just love that HBI has one, and I'm sure you guys have one up at Schoonovers too.
Absolutely, and I encourage even in your home, it makes sense to get one for your house or your cabin so that you have one for your family.
Yeah.
Because you never know when you're going to need it. So
there's no kind of prior signs to going down with heart failure. I mean, it just happens instantly, and there's no pre-warning. So it's a really good device to have around. Reavers, tell us again how we can donate today, Give to the Max Day to Play for Patrick.
Just go online, garagelogic.com, and either enter the keyword Patrick or you'll see it once you go to our website. Just click on the banner ad to donate. Again, enter the keyword Patrick at garagelogic.com or just click on the banner ad to donate.
Mike, thank you very much to you and your family and your employees for everything you do, and the organization Play for Patrick. We all really appreciate it. Thank you, Mike.
Happy to help, guys. Have a great day.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
That'd be a little bossa nova.
What the hell?
Did somebody just sneeze?
I did.
That'd be the mayor.
Jesus.
Excuse me.
You're excused. I don't want to do news. I'm just going to keep playing guitar.
All right. Thank you, boys, and thank you, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan.
Here's
Thank you, Dylan.
Here's Kenny.
Nope, here's John Heidt.
Here's
John
John, because I'm going to do the news now. But before I do the news, let me tell you that the news is brought to you by Rivertown Medical Center. That is what Dr. Dan there in Stillwater calls Stillwater's best kept secret. Rivertown Medical Center. Right now, you can call there to schedule an appointment about, cranky knees. You probably get them. I know I do. They can give you trouble when you go up and down your steps, maybe during your workout at the gym, or if you're doing your favorite thing, which might be biking. Or,
what about cranky
hunting.
thumbs?
Cranky thumbs? Yeah, we're not there yet.
All right.
They can help you with those, but that's not the focus of this ad.
All right, I'm
your
sorry.
knees are,
I'm
though.
sorry.
Whatever you do, your physical activity, your favorite one, your knees, if they're bugging you, give them a call at Rivertown Medical Center. And here they got a great thing going on. They use, by the way, regenerative care for knees. And you don't need a prescription drug. You don't need invasive surgeries. They'll take care of the pain for you. For a consultation, call 651-661-4311. That'll include a complete exam, x-rays, and more. At complete exam, usually $299, but if you schedule it this month, let's call it a Thanksgiving special. Schedule it in November. You'll get that consultation for $49. Take care of that nagging knee pain with a consultation and regenerative care from the Rivertown Medical Center in Stillwater. 651-661-4311. Rivertown Medical Center in Stillwater. In the news, a shakeup in Governor Walz's cabinet. State Health Commissioner Jan Malcolm, Public Safety Commissioner John Harrington, Education Commissioner Heather Mueller, and Iron Range Resources and Rehabilitation Commissioner Mark Phillips have chosen not to seek reappointment, according to Walz. Malcolm had led the state through the COVID-19 pandemic. She was praised by some and received threatening emails and phone calls from others. She said none of that had anything to do with her leaving, saying at the age of 67, she thought the right decision, it was time to move on and retire. Harrington was public safety commissioner during a turbulent time, the riots following the murder of George Floyd and the rise in crime in the Twin Cities. In his own statement, Harrington thanked Walz for appointing him to the influential public safety role. He did decline an interview request. Mueller declined an interview request. A department spokesman said she was education commissioner only for about a year and a half. She joined MDE several months into Walz's first term, serving as deputy commissioner and assistant commissioner before leading the department. She had started her career as a social studies teacher at Mankato area public schools, where the governor also taught. Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan now have to fill those 4 leadership vacancies, along with the heads of the Department of Revenue and Labor and Industry. Revenue's Robert Doty left to work for the Science Museum, and Labor Industry Commissioner Rosalind Robertson retired. That position will also
I'm not buying Mueller's resignation.
Think it was asked for?
No, I think she just wants to get out before the bleep hits the fan even more. I mean, she should comment to the public. What if she has something positive to say about how to prevent this in the future?
Well, she did. Remember, she did testify before legislative committee about the whole thing.
Yeah, what did she say?
And, well, all she said was that she gave the same excuses that
I don't know.
that they did catch it, and that's how the feds got a hold of not the story, but the case. They gave it to the feds.
Yeah, okay.
Blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
I'm sure she got a lot of help from Ellison, too.
It might have not even been it might have been
I don't know. Maybe
shoulder
just a
shrug.
The hell?
You know, the meme you can use on your phone, this one?
Yeah.
Members of the Minnesota Nurses Association say they'll vote on another strike due to the lack of progress in contract negotiations. The nurses are asking for pay increases, scheduling changes, and safer working conditions. In September, 15,000 nurses walked out in a 3-day strike. A lot of those nurses have been working without a contract since the end of May. Nurses says they're bargaining in good faith without much movement. Because of that, MNA says its members will vote on November 30th to authorize another strike at Twin Cities and Twin Ports hospitals. If authorized by at least 2/3 of the members, the union would be able to give hospitals a 10-day notice before being able to strike.
I don't think Mueller and Walz got any money from the food fraud scam, but I'll bet you $1 the thought went through their mind, man, this would be easy.
Oh, for sure they did.
And as you were reading that story about striking nurses, there's an interesting story about staffing shortages in hospitals across Minnesota today. So the irony there is, glaring.
Mm-hmm. Starbucks workers at more than 100 U.S. stores are on strike today in their largest labor action since a campaign to unionize the company's stores began last year. The walkouts coincide with Starbucks' annual Red Cup Day. If you're not familiar, that's when the company gives out those free reusable cups to customers when they order a holiday drink. It's a big deal. Workers say it's often one of the busiest days of the year. Starbucks declined to say how many red cups it plans to distribute today. Workers say they're seeking better pay, more consistent schedules, and higher staffing levels in the busy Starbucks stores.
In Mueller and Walz, we have been led by 2 4th-grade social studies teachers.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it.
And treated like 4th graders the whole time.
Moving Minnesota forward,
I'll say.
Star Tribune reporting. Across the border, a Superior, Wisconsin City Council member resigned this week after a police investigation into Facebook messages described as harassment that he allegedly sent to a woman. Superior Mayor Jim Payne asked for the resignation of 71-year-old Warren Bender, a council member first elected in 2008. Police investigated after other council members and Payne received complaints from the husband of the woman about messages allegedly sent from Bender's Facebook account. In a memo to Payne and Superior City Clerk, Bender cited years of mental and physical problems as the reason, said he would resign to seek help, quote, in a sincere effort to remain a respective and proactive citizen of Superior. According to the police report, Bender's repeated messages suggested to the woman they meet in a hotel or at her home. She had previously accepted a friend request from him because they had mutual Facebook friends, but did not respond to his messages. Payne, who spoke with the woman, wrote in a statement for police that the woman told him Bender tried to solicit sex acts from her several times since mid-September. He is resigning, and Superior Police Assistant Chief John Keel said the department has no plans to request criminal charges against Bender. A federal indictment is accusing a former Minneapolis CEO in the healthcare industry of orchestrating financial schemes that netted her millions of dollars that she sheltered in overseas bank accounts and shell companies under her control. 52-year-old Kamwati Singh was indicted by a grand jury last week on 7 counts of wire fraud in connection with her operation of Global Medical Services, which is now out of business.
Is this an ethnic specialty? I mean, the people pulling off these scams are invariably have different ethnicities. You know, just a thought I had. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
According to its website, Global Medical Services was based in downtown Minneapolis, had offices in London and the Middle East, said its business mission was to provide accessible healthcare solutions and services across the globe. Between June and October 2018, Singh and others entered into factoring contracts with MD Capital Solutions. Factoring, that's the short-term financing deal in which a business sells its accounts receivable to a third party at a discount. Singh defrauded MD Capital Solutions by failing to pay over the receivables as they were collected. Instead, she pocketed the money, wiring more than $5 million overseas to bank accounts in Morocco and shell companies under her control.
Didn't she also scam the payroll protection plan? Isn't that in the same story?
I did not see that.
Yeah, she scammed that too, I think.
How was she found out? How did they discover this?
I don't know either, Kenny.
And how did they
U.S. Attorney Andrew Luger.
How did they discover her overseas bank accounts?
Well,
are they going to find my overseas bank accounts?
Yeah. They have forensic investigators, Kenny. If you have them, they'll find them.
I got like $40-50 in a bank over there in Poland.
I'm going to need all that.
In April 2020, Singh submitted a false and misleading application for Paycheck Protection Program funds in the name of Global Medical Services.
You all right today?
Yeah.
Okay.
Paytech?
Whatever.
I did not see that in the story. Whose version you reading there?
The document from the U.S. Attorney's Office.
Oh, you were reading a press release. There you go. I did not see that. Wasn't included in the story I had.
Shocker.
Minnesota U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar has a memoir coming out in May.
Oh, jeez. I like to ride bike with my dad.
I feel like perhaps I shouldn't read the next sentence.
I know what you're going to say, John, which is why I didn't laugh.
I'm fighting for the people of Minnesota.
Read it, John.
Joe's the only one that won't sound like a fool at this point.
Oh, God, what?
That will detail her breast cancer diagnosis and treatment.
All right, I apologize.
2020 presidential run and experiences at the U.S. Capitol when insurrectionists stormed the building.
Oh, I was so afraid.
I think she recovered, thankfully. And
it's called The Joy of Politics, Surviving Cancer, a Campaign, a Pandemic, an Insurrection, and Life's Other Unexpected Curveballs.
She's a hero. She's gone through what no other American has ever faced.
It'll be published by St. Martin's Publishing Group.
That'll be on my to-do list right after Pence's book.
Congresswoman Karen Bass has made history.
See, I'm not going to read Pence's book.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I got you. That one sounds pretty boring, even if you're interested.
We just did something about climate change for the first time in decades. That's why we've got to win this as that hurricane bears down on Florida.
Yep.
We got to win in the midterms.
Otherwise,
we understand that.
Yeah. Oh, God, what a crank. Yeah. Does she call it a memoir?
Well, I don't know if she did, but the press release from the
that quote completely ruined it for me with her.
Yeah,
that
and
just
it should
completely ruined it for me.
We need to set an age limit and under on how old you need to be to write a memoir. And I think it's got to be up around the 50s, 70s, 70s, 80s.
She's got to be in her 50s, doesn't she?
That's not old enough.
Yeah.
That's not old enough.
Could Joe write a memoir?
Could he ever?
A couple of them.
And a sequel.
Let's start during the banana suit days.
The banana suit.
That's at least one memoir right there.
Will you let Royce write it? That way the lead's buried at like chapter 12.
I'm telling you, I was like Spider-Man. I went through the window.
I don't think that's necessary.
Okay.
If you do write a memoir, could we all be in the?
I thought the bed was going to break and fall on me.
Or something.
Boy, it was cold on that roof.
And then I sneezed when I was laying under the bed. Oh, man.
Congresswoman Karen Bass has made history after winning the race to become the next mayor of Los Angeles. The announcement came last night following the latest vote count, which showed Bass with an insurmountable lead of nearly 50,000 votes over real estate developer Rick Caruso, about a 53 to 46% victory for Bass. She vowed throughout the campaign, if elected, she would focus on addressing LA's high rent prices and the city's spiraling homelessness crisis. Good luck with that one. It saw almost 2,000 people die on the streets in the LA area between April 1, 2020 and March 31st, 2021. Speaking of California weirdness, and because there are apparently no real problems in San Francisco,
None.
San Francisco Mayor London Breed announced the launch of a new guaranteed income program for the city's trans community.
Oh, my.
The Guaranteed Income for Trans People program, or GIFT, will provide...
Wow.
Now, here's my problem I had with that. Gift is funny enough, make us giggle just because, but it's the guaranteed income for trans people. Wouldn't that
So
be
it's gift.
GIT?
Gift.
Wouldn't that be GIT? Yeah. Okay, the 4. Okay.
The
Gift.
P is silent.
Gift.
Yeah.
Why
It will
would trans
provide-
people get free money more than any other group of people?
Well, let's find out how much they're paying, because maybe I need to,
Move to
for
San
you
Francisco.
could make a change.
yeah,
It's not. You couldn't live on it in San Francisco, Kenny. I'm sorry. It's they'll get 12. Well, wait. Maybe you can't. I'm sorry. $1,200 each month for up to 18 months to help address financial insecurity within trans communities.
That
do
is
the,
just
do the math for me,
well,
Chris. $1,200 a month.
You couldn't afford to buy a. You couldn't split a condo.
You realize what you're doing?
What?
You're suggesting that London Breed is cheap and that the trans people should get more than that.
Should get
Well,
more money. Yeah.
Well, what I'm
100
saying is, it's not going to make a
times
dent in
12.
San Francisco.
That's
You'd have to have a good
14,000.
job.
That's only 14,000.
Yeah, you'd have to have a good job to go along with that. So.
Well, I make
pilot-
that in half a week. I can't afford to.
Really? I got to talk to the boss. Wow. The pilot program is the first guaranteed income initiative to focus solely on trans people and will provide regular, unconditional cash transfers to individuals or households who qualify.
So
according to the
they
mayor.
got all the other issues figured out in San Fran, huh?
How trans do you have to be? I mean, can you just say I identify as one, or can I get myself a big, nice, brand new set of double Ds? Because I'm thinking about going like maybe even HHs.
Who says you need to make a purchase?
This country is doomed.
Wow,
It's
hurtful.
ending. This country is ending.
The gift program will provide
singer.
eligible trans individuals with temporary income and a range of wraparound direct services such as gender-affirming medical and mental health care, as well as financial coaching, according to the mayor's
What
office.
the hell is going on?
The country's doomed. It's the wrong people are in the wrong place, in the right places.
GIFT is one of several programs the city is developing and implementing to support San Francisco residents and promote economic stability and recovery.
Wait till Melvin hears about this, Joe. It's coming to your city.
Well, same with this little guy in Minneapolis.
Wow.
I should thank the traveling Lymans, because Mr. Lyman is the one who alerted me to that story.
I'm
Looked it up, did a little
fascinated by the
research.
new police chief in St. Paul. I'm fascinated by his family. His name is Axel Henry.
Okay.
His dad was Harley Henry, and he was a big shot English professor at McAllister. And there's a picture that Axel will put in his chief's office, and that's him as a kid, a little kid, like 1 or 2, sitting in a hammock with his old man. And he says it's one of
cool.
his favorite pictures.
That's
And
cool.
He has 2 sisters. I'd love to know their names.
Well, that was creepy.
No, I mean, you got Harley as a dad and Axel as a son. I'd love to know what the names of the sisters are. It's unlikely that they're Mary and Barbara. They probably got funky names too.
Huh.
Never mind. It's
Yeah,
just
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I understand. A dumb criminal alert.
Cadillac and
In other words, I
Mercedes.
think he comes from a very interesting background. His mom is no longer with us. She left the home. She had some issues, and it sounds like Dad raised them.
Okay.
In the Mac Groveland area.
All right.
And I'm just intrigued by the guy. That's all.
Have you put in an interview request, perhaps?
I've met him and talked to him. I think I could succeed in getting an interview with him. Yeah.
It'd be a good column.
I think so.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
How would you have turned out, Such, if you had only been raised by your dad? How would that have gone?
Oh God.
I haven't given it any thought. I'd have to think about it.
Well, I'm asking you to think about it.
Yeah, I'll think about it and get back to you.
One day closer.
You will.
30 years or so.
I tried. Swing and a miss.
In Pennsylvania, a criminal complaint said an iPhone connection helped police identify one of two people involved in a carjacking at a park and ride in Wilkinsburg. Yes, it's true. The victim told police two people followed her off a bus to her car, demanded her phone and keys. Police found the car a couple of hours later. The people who were inside hopped out and ran. As the investigation unfolded, police said a witness identified one of the suspects as 19-year-old Daryl Kamen Jr. of Wilkinsburg. Kamen is a former student at a school where a security guard is the one who identified him. The big clue, though, police said another clue came from within the stolen car because Daryl's iPhone had been connected to the vehicle after it was hijacked.
Oh.
That's a dumb criminal.
Thank you, John.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Joe?
Yes.
Guess who listened to me? Unlike the rest of your show, David listened to me, and he called Call, Rise, and Shine. The garage door professionals.
Good.
Says Reavers, last week, Tuesday, our garage door just stopped working. Nothing. No clicks, no lights. Power was good, but it would not function. We were leaving town Thursday, so I needed this fixed fast. Just like Joe can get you a sign fast.
I'll get you a sign.
Tuesday about 4 p.m., I call and explain the situation. Wednesday morning at 9 o'clock, Will shows up. A few hours later, I have a new opener and some new door hardware. Bang, bang, boom. Done and ready to go. What fantastic service. Well, thank you, David. He did what I said. Call riseandshine.com. He also probably called the phone number, 651-300-3252. That's 651-300-3252. Call Rise and Shine are the best, and they have a perfect 5-star rating just because of what you heard from David. Customer service is the number one most important thing to them, and they will be out there 7 days a week. Service is what they offer, and you get a 5% discount. Seniors, military, AAA members, and their technicians are certified. 3 IDEA certified master techs on their staff, and they're going to continue to add more. That's because they're expanding. If you don't live in the metro, they'll still be able to take care of you. Rochester, St. Cloud, Mankato, Northfield, Faribault, Western Wisconsin, they've got you covered. Call riseandshine.com is their website. If you call and make an appointment, don't forget to ask about the Rooster Club membership because that includes a tune-up on an annual basis, and it's going to waive the trip charge. Call riseandshine.com. Please tell them that you heard about them on the Garage Logic podcast.
All right, it is that time of year. Actually, it's always that time of year. If you're looking for brand new flooring, doesn't matter what season it is, it's Redmond's Flooring and Design in Anoka. For half a century, they have been open to the public, no appointments necessary. Let them know you're a garage logician, and you wanted that fresh look in the kitchen. There's so many different options for your basement carpet, for the living room, whether you want hardwood, whether you want carpet. They have all sorts of designers that can help you with that process. That's all you have to do. You go to their website, redmans.com, redmanns.com. Poke around, let them know that you're a garage logician. Mike and the whole crew over there has got all sorts of products. You can get a little taste online, but going to the showroom in Anoka, you're going to see everything. The carpet, the hardwood, the vinyl, the tile, the luxury vinyl that's waterproof. It's all there. Their process, select it, imagine it, measure it, price it, then enjoy it. 5-step program that cannot lose. Redmans.com, redmanns.com. Pick up the phone if you have questions or you want to make an appointment. It's not necessary, but you can if you want. 763-316-3332. A Garage Logic business advertising on the Garage Logic podcast. Redmond's Flooring and Design. Get in touch with them today and let them know Rook sent you.
Johnny, 3, 2, 1.
We're just going to do a little country thing because,
Are you two playing two different songs?
I don't think so.
I think it sounds great. This is our last appearance with Dylan.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Dylan,
You're
for
welcome.
being here this week.
Thanks, Dylan. They
Thanks,
say.
Dill.
Pretty cool.
Everybody's yelling, "Thank you." Anytime he says.
How about tomorrow?
Right. How about the rest of
tomorrow
time?
was we'll put you down. Yeah, brands that you need right now. If you need them, Moon Motorsports has them, and we're talking everything from Triumph, Ducati, BMW, KTM, Husqvarna, Honda, Yamaha, and even Can-Am. And right now, you buy a brand new bike, guess what? Moon, they're going to provide free winter storage or free delivery to your Minnesota abode. You can see all these brands and the used options at moonmotorsports.com. But boy, the big push is for next Friday, a week from tomorrow, Moon's Black Friday, hour by hour savings party. It's a progressive deal. It runs 1 to 6 p.m. The savings on everything, parts, apparel, gear, they increase by the hour. So the longer you linger, the more money you're going to save. They also have some amazing giveaways. And if you spend $100, you get to enter one of three, to win one of three Polaris Sportsman 110 ATVs. They're for the kiddos. And, of course, all of this plays out a week from tomorrow, Black Friday. Moon Motorsports, they're our GL's Minnesota motorcycle, ATV, and sleds, parts, sales. They do it all there. Right on the south side of 94, west of 25 in good old Monticello, and on the web, moonmotorsports.com.
We should also promote today is Give to the Max Day, and our friend Mike Schoonover and his charity, Patrick Schoonover's Heart Foundation, is the charity of the GL Choice this year. They help identify heart defects in kids ages 14 to 24 following the death of their son Patrick at age 14. The foundation provides free heart screens for kids 14 to 24. These screens include family health history, blood pressure, height, weight, EKG, echocardiogram, and physician consultation to review results. The foundation also teaches hands-only CPR and AED awareness and donates AEDs to host schools. GLers, you can help out this amazing charity with your tax-deductible donation. And to do so, just please visit GarageLogic.com, click on the banner, or to donate, just search the keyword Patrick at GarageLogic.com.
An AED defibrillator.
Mm-hmm.
Every company, every business should have one. Mm-hmm. And you're going to like this. Reavers mentioned, and Mike also mentioned, they're teaching, what is it, hands only?
Yes.
CPR. So that means when you go down, and I'm right there, I don't have to give you the big old kiss of life, the breath of life. I can actually revive you without laying my lips on your lips. Although I probably will after you wake up. I'll, a little tongue.
Right.
But I'm going to wait till you're awake.
But you got to
for
pay
that.
extra for that.
Yeah.
Well, only because they come to us all the way from Marloth Park in Mpumalanga, South Africa, from the traveling Lymans, who note that I was wondering, I think it was yesterday, if there's such a thing as a mongoose. And they've sent me video of the mongooses who frequent their yard out there outside their cottage.
I know why that struck me. It was the Snoop Dogg narrating the nature video. What's these mongooses?
Something like that, but they're real. They look like armadillos, only they don't have armor. They just look like they have regular soft skin or fur or something, and they make pleasant noises.
Oh.
Yeah, almost a chirping.
Yeah, and they take care of the snakes, don't they?
They take care of the snakes, according to the traveling Lymans. On this day in 1863.
Today is November 17th.
Winfield Scott Hammond was born in Southborough, Massachusetts. Prior to becoming the state's 18th governor, he would function in various educational capacities as high school principal in Mankato, superintendent of schools in Madelia, and president of the school board of St. James. He died on December 30, 1915, the second governor to die while in office.
Really?
Governor Hammond. On this day in 1992,
11/17.
Jackpot Junction Casino, run by the Metawankton Dakota on the Lower Sioux Reservation in Morton, celebrated its 8th anniversary. Is that big of a deal? It is the first...
Number 8, huh? Big
Number
Ocho.
8, yeah.
Number 8.
Why the hell was that included?
It is the first Native American casino in Minnesota, originally a bingo parlor. By 1988, it became a fully operational casino. BFD.
Have you been?
Why in the hell did that make this list?
I'm glad that we celebrate this day in history for the 8th anniversary of Jackpot.
In 2 years from now, do we got to have the 10th?
Oh, yeah.
when the locals around here go down to Morton, they always go around town taking cigarette orders.
Oh, yeah.
And they come back with like 100 cartons of Salems and Newports and Marlboros.
You know, I've stayed. Last summer, we stayed, the boys and I, on our baseball trip. We
Stayed at Jackpot Junction?
We sure did. They got a nice pool.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a nice place, but
Didn't
the
know it was
8th anniversary, big deal.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Well, now in 1992, so that means this year's the 38th, right? So
Yeah, I'm surprised that's not in here today.
Big deal.
Boy,
38 jackpot.
sometimes Minnesota's really hard up for this day in history. I'll give you the governor who died in office.
I
but
never
I'm not
want to
giving
get
you this.
crap about telling a town ball story again if we're celebrating the 8th anniversary
This is official
of Jackpot.
material.
Well, that's true.
All the way from South Africa. Thank you, GLers.
You know who's not celebrating their 8th anniversary? That'd be my friends at Hofferman Water. 50 years they've been in business, over 50 years to be exact. An independent water treatment dealer, Hofferman is the absolute best. And they offer sales, service, and rental for those of you that are interested for Connecticut water treatment systems. That includes water softeners, iron, rust, and odor filtration systems. And, of course, drinking water systems. I got that drinking water system installed a couple of months ago, and man, oh man, does it make a difference. The Connecticut systems are the best. They do things other water softeners just simply cannot do. Like I've said, it's going to cut down on your salt usage, but it's going to protect your appliances. And that's because bad water affects almost every aspect of your home. Your showers get better when you get that system installed from Connecticut. So is your laundry and your drinking water. So if you're interested, please get in touch with my friends at Hofferman Water today. I've been a proud customer for years. You will be too. 952-894-4040. That's 952-894-4040. Or just go visit their website and see everything that they have to offer at HoffermanWater.com. As I mentioned, proudly serving the state of Minnesota for over 50 years. Please tell them you heard about them right here on the Garage Logic podcast.
And please give to the max.
Yes.
Either go to garagelogic.com, click on the banner ad, or you can hop right over to playforpatrick.org. And we thank you in advance.
And as long as you're online, hit the subscribe button on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. We're posting daily content there for your amusement. You can follow us along on all of our social media channels, which is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Download that PodMN app for your smart device, because if you listen to the Garage Logic podcast, you'll have the chance to win daily prizes just by listening to us via the PodMN app. And don't forget, if you haven't signed up for the town council yet, our first event coming up, 2 weeks from yesterday?
Yes.
Huh? You
That's
ready?
right.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, good. Time once again to check in with Mr. Money Talk Josh Arnold. GLers, now's the time for you to do the same. Pick up the phone and make that call for that free 48-minute financial consultation by dialing 952-925-5608. That number once again is 952-925-5608. You call that number, you get Josh, and you're always going to get straight talk. You're never going to get sugar-coated advice. And the man himself is on the line with us once again here in Garage Logic. And Josh, you know, you're an optimist, and you think that right now there are savings galore.
Oh, there's bargains galore, but yes, there is savings galore as well. And yes, I am an optimist. I like to say that I'm a realistic optimist, but an optimist nonetheless. And that has been brought home to me numerous times through my life. And I think I reviewed that with you a week ago after I came back from my 50th college reunion. And one of my friends that I met freshman year reiterated that spot that I always was looking for the sunny side of life. Oh, that's a song, isn't it? Anyway, bargains galore. If you are shopping, considering shopping, thinking about shopping, or getting ready for the holiday season that kicks off officially next week with Black Friday, the day after the Vikings beat the Patriots, on Thursday night. That's a very interesting addendum, and that game could well appear on Amazon, and maybe that gives a little boost to Amazon stock, which has been under the weather, as Amazon had predicted or guided to lower than expected revenues this Christmas quarter, lower than expected by analysts. But to me, still $145 to $148 billion is a lot of revenue during the holiday quarter. Unfortunately, local Target is really under the weather, so they did reduce significantly their inventory levels from last spring and summer, but they still have inventory to go for this holiday season, and they predicted a difficult holiday season. That means that retailers are going to be offering a lot of promotions, and you can take advantage of that going into this holiday. As to investing, retailers are a difficult lot to look at, but many of the discount retailers that haven't seen their shares move up may be places to look, which might include TJ Maxx. Could include Costco, definitely Walmart, which is still under an all-time high, but Walmart did report better than expected numbers this week, much better than Target. Kohl's stores, please stay away from Kohl's stores as an investment. I'm not so sure about shopping. Macy's reported today they beat on their high-end stores. Very interesting indeed. Macy's does pay a very nice dividend. But I would also look at some of the drug stores, such as CVS and Walgreens. And I'm doing a little research on Walgreens, say Walgreens Boost Alliance. They have been adding to their healthcare division. Their front of the store sales have been picking up, and any additional help they can get to promote the back of the store, the pharmacy business, would definitely be welcome. Walgreens does pay a very nice dividend while you're waiting for any appreciation. So be very selective in your shopping this holiday season, and if you're still looking for bargains, can't find them at Walmart, Costco, Target, or if you're in the mood for some heavy-duty home improvement equipment, Lowe's and Home Depot have still done pretty well. Both are trading under their highs, and business is not going to be going away. I would still look for favorite Amazon.
Good advice, Mr. Money Talk. You heard him, GLers. Now's the time for you to pick up the phone and make that call for that free 48-minute financial consultation by dialing 952-925-5608, a number that will always give you straight talk and never sugar-coated advice. Josh, once again, thank you so much for the time and the chat. Have a great rest of your day, a fantastic weekend, and we'll talk to you again next week.
You got a deal.
Investment services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant LLC, a security investment advisor. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk. All comments and opinions are Josh Arnold's and do not constitute investment advice.
Chris Reavers is a paid endorser.